Just say no. Wait, it's nothing being picked up?
No, it's not. There you go.
There you go, Twitch chat. Guys, anyone in Twitch chat? Big announcement. Hello, Galerius Smite League fans. I'm here with Mitch. Just a bit of an announcement that game 1 will be forfeit in favor of Mahakali. And that is for them not having a full starting lineup within the first 15 minutes. If I'm correct, Mitch, you are the admin.
Hopefully the 5th shows up soon, otherwise Egypaleyria are just going to forfeit the set, so it's just a matter of waiting, so sorry everyone, I hope you enjoyed Matt playing guitar.
Yeah, you got Wonderwall for a bit, guys. Any song requests in the chat?
Song request in the chat?
Any song requests?
You can play anything.
Yo, surely I play Creep by Radiohead. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Wait. Ah, fuck, I do not know.
Hey, language.
Can it be something else, guys? An actual song? I'd fucking... Hang on. But I don't even know the scale or what key it's in. I'm washed.
Do we have any more song suggestions in the chat?
Any more song suggestions? Is that close enough, Lockie? Is that happy? Is that good enough for you? Surely we get some more.
Lockie says
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
Thank you. What do you mean, Pentacruel? That's unbelievable.
Maya, I have no idea if this set's going to be streamed or not. Has it been played, or is it a replay?
Honestly, we don't know.
Possibly live. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, Dorsey is in.
Oh, hold on. Do they have a player? Oh yeah, he's in. So we might have a game 2.
Game 2, guys. We have content. This has been a bit chaotic. I'm sorry, chat. I'm Matt, as you all know. I'm joined by I'm joined by Mitch, and yeah, a bit unfortunate, isn't it, Mitch? That we're not going to see a 3-game set potentially today.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just something out of the hands of certain players that, unfortunately, that Egypaleyria is going to have to forfeit game 1 to Mahakali. So hopefully they can bring it back, give us 2 games, but we're just going to have to see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. two teams that I think the league generally hasn't rated too highly since the start of the season, but I think Mahakali now are playing some very good Smite. They've had a few role swaps and starting lineup changes, and I think they picked up a win over Waddle in week 2. I want to think it is, or it might have been last week. My memory is it's failing me, Mitch, but Egypaleyria looking to get their first win on the board this week.
Yeah, it's
How
gonna
do
be
you think their chances are? Sorry, I cut you off.
well with now that game, the one game down already, which is unfortunate due to those being late. But hopefully, if they've managed to scrim, they've managed to practice each other, they could possibly bring in the first win. But the main issues I had with Egypt player and their set size caster films there, just their drafting was a bit off. They picked things that kind of threw in the game, like the Heap of First and stuff like that, into the Fenrir. So hopefully they've practiced a bit, worked on their draft phase, and hopefully they can bring it back now. And Mahakali, as you said, managing to get their wins, and Mahakali definitely put up a lot of strong fights in the sets they've played. So I'm hoping to see a strong performance from Mahakali as well.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like Dorsey's getting, and I think we'll be getting into game 2 relatively soonish. No, I think coaching by Laffy and Albi for both teams. Hopefully, they can put up some good drafts. I don't think any subs were responding. Bit of a chaotic one for sure, but hopefully we can really get it going soon.
Yeah, hopefully when we put the league standings up in a minute whilst we wait for game 2. I don't know. I'm just hoping we see a good set here. Hopefully, each player have shown some improvements so they can go into like a 2-game set at least. But I would be disappointed if Mahakali just take it and then unfortunately we don't get to see game 2 at all. But hopefully we'll see each player show some signs of life and we get to see a nice close set.
Yeah, as we see the league standings here, Mahakali, probably 2 tough fixtures to start the league with, but I think they have a decent chance at really being a contender come the final tournament. And I think the teams around them, like I think they could potentially rise above, just built different. I think obviously the 3 sort of leading teams, Order of a Blight, BM, and King Kai's. So yeah, be looking forward. I think we're just about to get into picks and bans. No bans coming through here so far. I think some picks, like Lina's Mercury, for example, could be very contested. How good has Lina looked on this Mercury pick whenever she's been able to play it, Mitch?
I mean, Lina as a player has been playing extremely well. She's shown stuff like not only the Mercury, as you've pointed out, but she's been showing signs of stuff like Thanatos and Thor as well. So banning Lina is going to be especially difficult now that I'd say the Season 10 meta has kind of solidified a bit now. So the top picks are being prioritized with gods like Sol, Cullen being in the mix now. So it's going to be hard to ban out Lina because not only is there top picks in a lot of other roles that have kind of been decided now by the community, it's a matter of you can ban her Mercury, you can ban her Thana, but she's going to have other pocket picks, so it's going to be quite difficult for Egypaleyria to get that very strong ban phase in. And Mahakali banning 2 magical ADCs.
Yeah, for sure. Magical ADCs, the sort of damage they are putting out, and also their teamfight presence for the most part, is very difficult for frontliners to deal with. As Mahakali taking away the Oleron Amber Kronos. Kronos actually not really one of the favoured ones we've been seeing. I think out of the 4, while all of them are very, very strong, honestly, I think Freya and Sol getting through is quite interesting. They seem to be 2 of the most popular ones. How do you feel about that and the Hebo ban coming through now, Mitch?
Yeah, and then the Fenrir ban as well. I think when it comes to magical ADCs, I think Oleron probably has the best teamfight potential. I mean, his ultimate is quite literally one of the best ultimates in the game. Kronos, I agree, is probably the weaker out of the 4, but then Freya and Sol are kind of the catch-all when it comes to magical ADCs. They have sustain, they have damage, and they have a bit of teamfight presence as well. So, as I said, it's quite weird to see the lower of the 2 magical ADCs being banned while the top 2 are being prioritized. Mahakali taking away the Hebo, which makes sense, and picking the Thor first pick, which, yeah, you can't blame him. like got global pressure, lineup plays extremely well, and then it's a very safe first pick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a potential spanner in the works, maybe there's some slight room, but Coconut could take it solo. Hasn't really been what he's opting for, as we see a Soul being hovered in response by Egypaleyria. Not sure about a second pick, going for Bacchus hover. Very interesting when the Maui and Yamoja is on the table. Might not be something that Dozy is favoring. Oh no, he's hovering the Maui, and the Maui is locked. That is a very strong top tier
around here.
I mean, you can have it going with the Bacchus as well, because with Maui and Bacchus, they proc the Prophetic Cloak quite well, and they have quite aggressive picks they can set up for their team. But however, while Bacchus is a lot more aggressive, Maui has that peel potential, and with it being in comp play with his Mystical Lure, it allows him to enable his peeling ability. And then, as we said about Sol, just a very strong ADC, arguably one of the best ones in the game right now with the sustain and damage that she outputs. So they've got themselves a very confident duo lane, and now Mahakali hovering over the Agony, who I know, and I'm not a mid player, but I know he's one of the higher prioritized picks purely for his damage output alone in his laning phase, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Agni's damage right now is just unrivaled. Like, even matchups, what used to be sort of favorable, like Fenrir, who can follow him through the dash, not as strong as you'd imagine. With Agni, the amount of damage the dash does, like anyone who really chases him is put in a very bad spot, and his ability just to engage with the flame wave into noxious fumes, or maybe just even a rainfire over the wall, is like the amount you can do with this god, the different ways you can play him whilst still being effective. He is so hard to deal with right now, as we see a Cucullin also locked for Mahakali and Raven. What do you think about those two picks, Mitch, and what will they bring?
I think Cucullin arguably is the best soul laner in the game now. I think one of the only gods who can rival him is Surta, who obviously isn't comp legal currently, but Cucullin is one of the premier Bluestone abusers currently, and the fact that even if he gets behind, he doesn't have to worry about mana sustain, since if his blue gets evaded, he has his rage mechanic. And then the amount of pressure he provides to the backline, just going in there with his leap, knocking them up, going into berserk form, trembling, pushing people around, and dealing with so much damage. It's just unrivaled currently. And then Egypaleyria favoring the Raven. I know Kazvet likes this in solo, so it's a bit of a safer pick. The issue is though, if he falls behind against this Cucullin, he's going to have struggle a lot more to get into the backline and get the damage that he wants. And with these current bans, Ishtar, Athena, which makes sense, out of the Hunter class, Ishtar's probably still the best out of them, and then Athena being a very safe and reliable support, which is very difficult to deal with the global pressure, and then Alquang and Ninja banned on the side of Mahakali.
Yeah, two very strong jungle picks. One thing I've noticed is Freya is still through, and I'll be very interested to see if Mahakali take it. Not the worst into Sol. I think with the global presence of 4 making, ganking easier, being able to just like not fully commit to ganks, but have that presence and keep that Freya safe if possible. I would be very surprised if Mahakali didn't pick it up here.
Yeah, I mean, currently Mahakali have arguably a perfect comp currently, and Egypaleyria going with a Morgan, who I know isn't particularly favoured currently in the meta, but it's still comp, so if it can be played, it can provide a lot of team fight potential, being able to sense the Cucullin, the Thor, the Agni, or even going for one of their teammates, maybe turn into Sol, maybe the Ravan to dive in the backline, but an interesting pick that I didn't think we'd see today.
Yeah, I think the thing with Morrigan is that while yes, Polynolcon is a particularly strong item, a lot of her other items aren't particularly favoured. Like her general build has got a bit more expensive as well with Divine Ruin, and I think the god has just been nerfed a bit generally. But I think what this Morrigan can bring is value through the 4 transformation. That Anvil of Dawn, if Egypaleyria are playing team fights right and they force out Agni dash, it's going to be very, very difficult for Agni to survive, especially with the Ravana dive as well. I think the only issue with Morrigan is, not being like for Agni and Ymir as a mid 3v3 for Morrigan to deal with is very, very difficult. And that's another good transformation underneath Humbat's very flexible team fight we've got going, haven't we, Mitch?
Yeah, Mahakali rounding off their comp with the Ymir and a Freya just screams to me like that they are ready to play aggression with this comp. And as you said before, Freya weirdly managing to get into like the lower end of the picks. You really think she would have been highly prioritized, but no, she slips away into the bottom picks. But it's a very strong, competent duo lane, enough to rival the Maui and the Sol. And then Egypaleyria rounding off with the Humbats, who's notoriously one of those gods who's always going to be favored for his ultimate alone. And as you said, with the Morrigan, having 2 Humbat Souls is definitely better than 1. So both have interesting comps, but which one do you favor out of these two, Matt?
Honestly, I am favoring Mahakali's pick, or comp, sorry. I think they have gone meta picks through and through. I think each of them 5 gods are top 3 in their role. They team fight so well. I don't think Egypaleyria generally have much early pressure to really like make them struggle through the late game. It's only really coming through that Sol. I think honestly, if Mahakali shut down the Sol and get the Freya through the early stages of game, team fights are going to be a breeze.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Mahakali have just got themselves a very well-rounded comp that not only persists well into the early game with that pressure, but the late game damage they're going to provide as well with their team fight potential is going to be ridiculous as well. Egypaleyria, as you said, Sol was the only really one that I'd really worry about in the early game when it comes to pressure. The Maui, whilst good, he's probably still one of the best supports in the game, but if he's behind, he struggles a bit more. Raven, like, same thing. And then the Morrigan, I'm a bit worried of because she has to be quite close range to get damage off if she's not transforming. So I fear if she, and with how tanky players currently are, if she hits her combo and they survive, she's going to be very close range to some very dangerous picks.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing we can point out as well with these comps is honestly, I think Egypaleyria, I think it'll be so much easier for them during these fights if they can focus this Ymir. Maui has the ability just to displace Ymir into a position he doesn't want to be in. And honestly, they still have decent amounts of bursts. If Kupo's going to have to be very careful with her positioning around fights, because that is a very volatile Ymir game. But I have faith in Kupo and Mahakali for this game too.
Yeah, considering the comp they have surrounding the Ymir, I'm really not worried for him. Obviously, as you said, him being immobile is one of his biggest weaknesses, but if he's in a position where he can just walk up to the enemy team, Ymir has next to no weaknesses. Because, yeah, he's immobile, but if he's ahead and his teams are doing ahead and they're playing well, he can kind of just do whatever he wants. He can wall off, he can get freeze-ups, he can help surround objectives. He's just a very, very strong support currently, and I have full belief that Cooper Klaus and Mahakali are going to use it to their best.
Yeah, I agree. We see the starts here. Both duo lanes are opting for the 2-camp start, which is, I mean, personally, I prefer that one. It gives your jungle a bit of leeway to get level 3 off the duo side back camps and potentially gank duo. I think the earlier that things happen around duo is really a tell on how this game is going to unfold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think getting to duo lane and getting the pressure is a lot more important than hitting level 2. And to be fair, both these comps could have did it, but also we might nearly have a first blood. There's a lot of aggression current going on this early game, and Darcy gets first blood.
Yeah, that's a very good start for Egypaleyria. You know, Ymir is, I mean, honestly, I don't think the pressure, if you compare the two, isn't worse. Freya with Conduit does clear pretty well. Their fight is rough, and Ymir's Frostbite passive allows for extra damage when clearing and just auto-attacking fighting, which is very valuable through the early game. But I think Sol's passive is just one of the best in the game. It is just so good for that early fight and that early pressure. See Rosie there just having to dash away mid. Yeah, that's a very good start for Egypaleyria, not one I was expecting.
Yeah, with an early start, Egyptaleiria's comp looks a lot better. I think if they keep the ball rolling and they manage to get this map pressure, then their comp is actually extremely difficult to deal with. It's just managing to keep that pressure, though. That's the main issue I'm worried here, because
Oh, blue
as
slider caught out here. Beads used on Liner there as Liner getting a return kill as someone else goes down. Kupo Clouds in the duo lane. Honestly, Egypaleyria's duo lane going very large here as Coconut low in the solo lane here, just going to de-transform and step back to his tower line. This is unusual here, Mitch. Like, Egypaleyria's duo lane not really been performing through the early stages of the season, but it's a very, very good start for the lane.
Oh yeah, it's definitely nice to see the team improving, and not only are they doing well in the dual lane, it's nice to see that Kazvet, despite going against the Cullen, has the pressure and he's managing to keep it on the line. So both side lanes doing pretty well here, mid's going about equal, so each player are looking very good. We might be able to see game 2 if they keep this up.
Yeah, definitely. Have a look at builds as well. Both solo laners opting for a mitigations build. It's going to be an unfun one for both backlines. I think Mahakali, while Raven abuses the mitigations more, I think they have much better shred on backlines. Like Morrigan, not the greatest for killing tanks. Obviously, you want to be getting to that backline, having a big transformation. I think the Kukulin could potentially go big, but Raven is very difficult to deal with. Like his kit gets just benefit from this mitigations build when playing in solo.
I mean, last season Raven had another mitigation build, isn't he? And we all saw how that turned out. So if Kazvet
Just
can
as
pilot this
unfun.
pick, yeah, no, it's not a fun pick at all. But Kazvet is known to play this pick. His comfort picking likes to rely on, and he abused that build in last season as well. So yeah, I definitely see him doing it again. So I have full faith that Kazvet can pilot it. So it's just a matter of hoping that they can manage to pressure it out before it becomes a line. Because if this Raven gets ahead with that build, Mahakali are going to have a rough time.
Yeah, definitely. Rosie just back in here in mid. I assume she got enough book for and doesn't look like it. Coconut low again here. Casvet's really having the edge in this lane. As it looks like Mahakali are looking to group on this Kukulin. They're seeing that he's low. Morrigan rotating along with Maui. Kukulin leaping away and Ram just getting as much damage off as he can. Takes two tower shots. As Anvil of Dawn from the Morrigan doesn't get the kill, unfortunately. Just misses with the wall and the Milnir's attunement. That is very, very unfortunate. But Coconut gonna get out as Maui leaps onto the Agni. Doesn't really get anything there. I think Humbat's Ping Unicorn going back to farming. Nothing's come of that, but I really like the idea from Egypaleyria.
Yeah. Oops, sorry, Karen.
Oh, Rosie dashing in, zoning out from you, man. Nothing's come of it. Sorry, Mitch. You go.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. It's also a pretty big win for Mahakali because now the Nilla Morrigan's ult is down. That is a big team fight ultimate, so having that down now on the failed gank, that gives Mahakali a lot of mid pressure in there for free to know, hey, she's not going to transform, so we know we can play to her weaknesses. So that's going to be a very big win for them.
Yeah, definitely. And if it's any mid 3v3 I want to play against this Morrigan, it'd be this one. I mean, for Ymir, the amount of walls they have, and Agni's just the ability to just, as I said earlier, the flame wave into noxious fumes. It's just so good. Your team can play around it. It's great self setup. Like Agni's one of them gods where you don't really need to rely on your team, but he can be a great benefactor for other members of your team. As Rosie's looking to get aggressive, Rainfire hits twice, 3 times.
Wow.
Agni is a fun god, isn't he, Mitch? Very balanced.
That damage is just ridiculous. Like, just one more hit from literally any other Agni ability, that would have just been a solo kill, which is just not very fun to deal with, especially when he has 3 of those things.
Yeah, that's the issue with this matchup. Morgan's gonna have to play back. Like, you need to be able to read when Miss Agni's looking to aggress. If he manages to catch that stun onto you, it's gonna be so difficult as Morgan. As Red Buff just farmed here.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to point out is that the Humbass has gone into Bluestone despite being nerfed now. I don't know if it's survival in jungle, but it's interesting to see that Liner here opted for the Eye of the Jungle, whilst Unicorn went for the Bluestone, and these are very two different builds. I think either jungle plus Transcendence on Thor is just going to be ridiculous, especially when she's most likely going to opt to protect as a jungle, where she gets percent power off it. Meanwhile, the Humbat's opting for the Bluestone gives them a lot more of that damage and the brawl ability as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how these turns out, especially with this being the nerf Bluestone. If this was like the pre-patch Bluestone, I definitely could have seen both picks doing this. But I'm really interested to see where this Bluestone ends up during the game.
Yeah, honestly, I think Bluestone is still viable. I personally would still go on both gods, but I think there's room, and like I understand both I'm a jungle and Bumbers whenever they get built. Like it's just safer that you're gonna clear. Like on some gods, you have more room to contest those mid camps before oracles and pyromancer spawn. So I kind of understand it. I mean, if Linus wanting to get the ball rolling early farm wise to help out the rest of the team, then yeah, I understand it honestly. And when you've got gods which do ridiculous amounts late game, securing the more farm is, it's always better.
Yeah, and one thing that's also interesting is that both supports opted for Thieves at the start instead of Prophetic Cloak, which is the item nearly every support has been running so far. I highly doubt they're not going to go into it. I can definitely imagine both supports picking it up, but Prophetic is just an insane item, isn't it? Just the amount of mitigations it provides you and the fact that it gives an aura once it's fully stacked. But the issue is that stacking it can take a bit, and depending on your pick, it can be very difficult to stack. Like, a Bacchus stacks Prophetic a lot better than a Geb, for example.
Yeah, it's all dependent on how you're wanting to play. If you're wanting to aggress and fight through the early game, and whether your god can stack it relatively easy. Like you'll see some games where your Moja, for example, will get prophetic, have it done in about 15 minutes. Whereas like Ymir or like Geb, Kepri, Ganesh, any of these Kepri not so much, but like Ganesh, for example, they will really struggle to stack it unless you're just fully engaging or just fully trying to get it stacked, even putting yourself out of position. It's I think Thebes is a lot safer through the early, in my opinion. You get your more protections faster. But I think with how strong mitigations are, like in an ideal world, you will want prophetic cloak.
Yeah, and with mitigations as a whole being nerfed in the next patch this week coming, it's going to be interesting to see how the build shift towards it because so far in this patch, mitigation has been running the game. So I think it's going to give a lot of roles such as mid and ADC a lot more breathing room, and we're going to see a lot more interesting picks in those roles because right now it does not feel good to be a backliner.
Absolutely not. I mean, mid laners are having to crutch onto a tablet of destiny, and ADCs. Well, if you're going a physical one right now, it's rough most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they're getting a Kins buff next patch, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, they've done their annual round of crying, and Kin's getting another 1% bonus damage. I want to think Humbat's Rosie low here managed to get dash away under tower goes blue side, getting the kill on Rosie, and looks like they're just going to disengage here. Oh wait, did it? I swear it didn't count the kill on the UI. Yeah,
Yeah, you got the
Egypaleyria
kill.
have 3 kills, and Spectator, well, doesn't want to work with us.
It's Smite. Nothing works. But yeah, no, Egypaleyria managed to get another pick, so again, they're keeping the ball rolling, and they got on the more again, and the ball's rolling even more with another pick.
Yeah, that's a very good pick again from Pink Unicorn. It has updated actually for me. I guess I just can't read numbers on low res Discord stream. Um, yeah, it's grouping in mid again here. Maui looking to leap in. I'm just so impressed with this start from Egypaleyria. Where has this been all season?
Yeah, you can definitely tell they've been practicing because Egypaleyria at the start of the season weren't too hot, but seeing this now against Mahakali, a team that is also known for their early game, seeing them take it to them and get these early picks, get this map pressure, it's just really nice to see that Egypaleyria have been evolving as a team, and hopefully they can get their first set win, hopefully with all this improvement. And now 10 minutes have passed now, the Gold Fury has spawned, so if Egypaleyria can keep their map pressure up, they can possibly start looking towards it.
Yeah, I mean Rosie and Kupo both heading towards it. Never mind, just getting a green buff. I thought they were looking around it as Liner very out of position here. And looks like they're gonna collapse on Liner. Does have a roll up though, so should be able to get out. taking a lot of damage though as Liner beats down. Maui ults. Liner very low HP, managing to get ours. Pink Unicorn going around the back. Liner gets into the air. Fear No Evil dropped as Zareth taking a bit of damage, goes up into the sky, and it's Kupo? Kupo, yeah, going down. Couldn't tell for a second. They'd all grouped on top of her. Very good from Egypaleyria. Very good grouping. And Warden realizing that Liner was there and catching her out. Not able to get the kill onto Liner, but picks up Kupo's Gold Fury. Looks like it's going to go down. Rosie dropping bombs. Egypaleyria gets the Gold Fury, and Freya looking to disengage her.
Yeah, that's extremely well played by Egypaleyria. They noticed when Liner is out, they managed to try and go for it, but instead they managed to get the Koopa Clouds, which is an even better pick in my opinion, especially when you're trying to secure the Gold Fury. You know the Ymir can't just walk around, face tank everything, and try and freeze them and disrupt them. So they managed to get that, and getting the Gold Fury again leads their lead, makes them stronger. Managed to get that map pressure, and they're playing extremely well. Mahakali, they peeled well for Liner, but unfortunately, due to Ymir's immobility, Kupo just couldn't get out, unfortunately. And unfortunately, they'll have to go through it for it. But however, Mahakali definitely out the game yet because they have shown that they can play team fights in late game quite well. So if they still manage to keep us at the game, they can definitely come back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not ideal Sol having the lead. She does that's a lot of damage. Yeah, not ideal the Sol having the lead. Coconut has a lead in solo though, for Mahakali after being very pressured out early. This Cocoon's starting to come online. Picked up a mystical mail. Not an item we're seeing very much. Looking like he's going to go into a prophetic cloak after. What do you think about this mystical mail, Mitch?
For some reason, Mystical Mail is just kind of associated with Kukulin. Like even if the item isn't meta and isn't one of the most built items as of right now, Kukulin is just one of those gods that people like it on. I mean, with the way his kit works, stacking it on top of his 2 with the AoE damage as well as when he's in Berserk form, it's a lot of extra nice damage, but it's just very weird that Kukulin is associated with it, and to be fair, it works on him, so I don't see why not, and then you won't really see it on any other solo lane, however.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm not sure because I'm not a solo laner, but I'm pretty sure that Mystical might proc Cuckoo passive and get him a rage. Someone in chat will have to correct me because it doesn't. Production has corrected me. I am a bit silly, but no problem. Just grouping onto Coconut here. Not much going to come from it. Just looking to fight around this solo side of the map now. At Gold Fury's down with Pyromancer being the ideal acquisition for both teams. Nothing much coming from it. Morgan stepping up there, but you know, Flame Wave just go dash away. Is Rosie. Neither team really looking to engage right now.
Yeah, both teams are pretty content in farming. Egypaleyria keeping somewhat map pressure, trying to get as much farm as they possibly can, and then Mahakali trying to regain some of that farm back and try and reinstate themselves on the map. And so now that we've passed 10 minutes, obviously the Go Fury spawned earlier, but since 10 minutes is more of a comfortable time to start looking at Go Fury, past the 10 minutes mark, the Fire Giant is up now. So if one team gets a very good team fight, the Fire Giant is possibly on the table, and of course that's one of the most important maps on objectives in the game. So right now, it's in a current. Oh, hold on.
Fight just going down. Not much coming from it between Coconut and Casper there, just looking to poke each other out.
Yeah, I mean it's so lame. They're just gonna hate each other. That's what they do.
Yeah, just having a little tussle over there.
Just bros being bros.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to point out with these builds currently is that Prophetic Cloak and Agni is quite interesting because both with Book of Thoth, that's quite a while to stack. But however, as said with Agni, this damage is going to be outrageous, as we've seen in Howard's Ultimate, which is just yeah. I don't think he really has to worry about coming online a bit later because his damage right now is just insane. So with that Book of Thoth and Tablet of Destinies, the amount of raw power that gives Rosie is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, Rosie being collapsed on here in mid by Casper. Not looking to dive a tower though. No one's really bounced. Liner gone into the air. Yep, goes into the air with the Anvil of Dawn. Doesn't land it on anyone though. Um, Tectonic shift just stunning out with Raven there, but yeah, nothing really coming from it. And that's 4 ultimate down. And honestly, if I'm Egypaleyria here, sorry, I'd be looking around this Pyromancer. 4 ultimate down is big fight, like potential just gone. Engage here by Casvet onto Rosie. Um, Mystic Rush landing onto Rosie, but not much coming from it. Maui ult also connects, but I think Rosie used her beads. It's Coconut's killing Blue Slider and back. This suddenly could be a big fight here for Mahakali. Rosie dropping Rainfire over the wall. Humbat's going in there. Rosie managing to get out. It's Coconut still big ultimate there from the Cullen, but is probably going to go down. Yeah, Bob the Bunny, Tim getting a big kill, a big rotation. Cassette caught out here, taking a lot of damage. Dozy leaps on to a Soul. Oh, not the Soul, the Freya, sorry. Anvil of Dawn back up for Liner, goes into picks up Dozy. This fight looking to favour Mahakali. That is a big turn, a big rotation from Coconut and Zarzif.
Yeah, Mahakali played that fight really well. Now they're going to take the Go Fury now, which, yeah, Mahakali definitely proven to them, Egypaleyria, like, hey, we're not out of the game. So with that fight now, that equals up the map quite a bit and puts them on quite equal footing. But I don't think this Go Fury is as free because right now the 3 members of Egypaleyria are still up. So it looks like they might have to lose Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie just caught out there. Anvil of Dawn coming from Morrigan ultimate. Yeah, just being caught out. Teleport actually, and
Ooh,
Fear No Evil dropped onto Kupo Clouds.
very
Very
nice.
good response from Mahakali.
Yeah, you can't blame them with that. They managed to stop Mahakali from getting the Oni Fury, which is definitely one of the best Gold Furies. And honestly, depending on the situation, if they wouldn't get one of these picks, they might be able to take the Oni Fury for themselves. But at least they managed to stop Mahakali from taking the Gold Fury and managed to take back some of that pressure of getting those 2 picks. But it looks like they're carrying on with the aggression.
Yeah, Maui leaping in there, not managing to catch on with Zazu. Um, Zazu putting out a lot of damage, to be fair. Just them two and Coconut's liner ultimate. That's a
Ooh.
big Anvil of Dawn. Pink Unicorn having to leap away there is the chase on mode. Dorsey looks like it's going to go down as Coconut picks up another kill. Still chasing his Coconut. Just Blue Slider and Casvet left. This could be a big, big turn in the game for Mahakali. Yeah, Blue Slider being chased down by Liner there. Just Casvet left now. Don't really think they should chase this. I think they should just turn and do the Oni Fury as they plan to do. Yeah, that's a very big shift in the game. I think Mahakali might get around a 1k gold lead now. Um,
Yeah,
solo side tower gonna go down as well.
yeah, that's just a massive win for Mahakali. So they won the mid-team fight, went to Go Fury, got pushed off the Go Fury, and are now Egypaleyria in the winning position. But I think Egypaleyria got a bit too aggressive, ended up putting themselves in a position where they didn't want to be in, which gave Lana the opening to absolutely destroy them with the Anvil of Dawn, getting the triple kill, and now Mahakali taking the Oni Fury, now a couple, 1k gold ahead. It's just Mahakali are definitely in the lead now, and unfortunately, I think each player, once they warded them off the Go Fury, they maybe should have just backed and maybe just hovered around it themselves to make sure they don't get it. But they got a bit too aggressive and paid for it. Now, with Mahakali gaining an arguably even bigger lead than they would have had before.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this point, Egypaleyria, you're really needing Tim to go big with the lead he got, and Pink Unicorn still doing pretty decently on the Humbats, 3-1. But honestly, Liner is massive. Some of the things that Liner and Coconut have been doing to keep Mahakali in the game are just very, very impressive. I think honestly, they're gonna have to keep playing through them two, making sure they're involved in the fights and again great engagers with the Anvil of Dawn and the Colonel. They really need to sort of play through that. And I think honestly, at this point with where they are in the game, I think they'll just be able to do more and more and more. I mean, we said earlier this Mahakali team, their comp that they've chose is a ticking time bomb, and we are soon arriving there.
Yeah, and speaking of bombs, the Pyromancer is also up as well, which is definitely an objective that both teams might be looking for, as the bomb is quite useful when it comes to taking down towers and objectives. And it looks like Egypaleyria are going for it now, trying to burn it, but Mahakali are definitely aware, and they managed to step off a little bit. And depending on how these fights go, a fire giant is definitely in the works.
Yeah, for sure. Zazif still farming up in duo, as I think Tim is about. Yeah, Tim's in mid. I think one thing we don't like to see is that Ymir is the same level as Rosie, the mid laner. That is not ideal if you are Rosie. I would not be happy as a mid laner. Maui goes down. Dorsey actually really low here, but nothing's really going to come from it. I don't think. Yeah, Mahakali aren't really in a position to fight this with Coconut and Zarzif not around the mid lane.
No,
I think
definitely.
if
Oh,
they're
sorry.
there, I think they could capitalize on that.
Oh yeah, definitely. But unfortunately, it's a situation where they aren't as properly grouped as they'd like to be. But however, they are looking at this Pyromancer, which could be just as a win as much as taking the fight. But it depends how fast they can burn it. But it looks like Mahakali are taking this very slowly. They don't want to make any big risky plays, so they're just trying to play safe, try and get the farm. They're checking around all the objectives before even thinking of doing them, which is definitely the right kind of play here. Because if Mahakali play this game right, they only have to play one game, and then it's a 2-0 win for them.
Yeah, I mean, finishing the Smite set this early, they can have a nice peaceful Sunday after it. Would be ideal. Is Pyromancer gonna go down in favor of Egyptleria? Yeah, they had a bit of priority over the objective, but it's looking rough for Tim here. Caught out of position as Four goes up into the air. Liner here looking to go big. Zarzif getting the kill onto Tim. Four ult misses, so does the Tectonic Shift, but not going to be able to get. I think that's Dorsey there. Big Fear No Evil though onto Liner, going to go down as Casvet is just not dying by three people zoning, not dying. Ymir Wall could go big. Very, very low now as for Ravana. Still not dead.
This
Oh,
is
mitigations are funny.
a certified mitigations moment, and that took a lot longer than you'd ever think it would. But Mahakali, unfortunately, with Liner missing the ultimate, kind of paid the price. She got blew up, unfortunately, just the amount of damage she just couldn't take. However, Mahakali, 1 for 2, so definitely in the favour of them. However, Egyptleria do manage to get the Gold Fury, so they are, in fact, carrying the Gold Fury bomb. Not the Gold Fury bomb, the Pyromancer bomb when it comes to objectives now. And Primal Fury has spawned now, which can definitely be on the tables now. A bit of a safer objective to take. Both teams currently neck and neck in this game currently, so.
Pause.
Oh, a pause. We have a pause. Why are they
Now,
pausing?
guys, whilst we are paused, I have got a public service announcement. Do you, Mitch, I'll say this to you. Do you ever go onto Smite Game and you want to buy gems? And oh, never mind, we've been unpaused. No public service announcement right now. Subway Primo chat.
Yeah, sponsor's done. Carry on.
Sponsors done. Carry on. Subway Prime. Whoop into the air is Dorsey. Whooped into the air, but nothing really gonna come from it. Mahakali, or not Mahakali, Egyptleria having a bit of an advantage over his fighters. Coconut ults in the back line. Not really got much support of Coconut, but he's doing enough to just keep them off this objective. Liner and Rosie will be arriving shortly. As
He's got the mitigations build. He's fine.
yeah, he's not dying. We'll say that. Might need a few CC chains and a bit more pen and just anything really. Like, I mean, look at that.
He's just not taking damage.
I mean, Mahakali looking to get this objective as well. I mean, Blue Slighton needs getting this fight soon. Pink Unicorn. Oh, that's not ideal. Liner going into the air and goes after Bob the Bunny. Actually, Tim potentially going down here. Soul is dropped. Liner's take a fair bit of damage. Supernova, sorry. I know my abilities. Coconut good. Dash in there. I mean, it's just both solo laners just not dying. I mean, Rosie is taking a large amount of damage. Good Ymir wall, though, from Kupo, as Casvet just, he is finally dead, but as a huge Fear No Evil from Pink Unicorn, gonna get stunned there by the Ymir, gonna go down to Coconut. These fights are very chaotic. Sorry, Mitch.
Yeah, it's just kind of who can beat down the solo laner first, and right now that's taking 30 minutes alone, but Mahakali definitely taking the win there. They managed to go for 3-for-1, and hopefully a free Pyramid Fury as well, which is definitely going to come in handy when they're trying to take down the Fire Giant and other objectives, so definitely a big win for Mahakali, and so far this gold lead is creeping up as well, so Egypaleyria need to try and get a fight under their belt, because right now Mahakali are definitely making their way towards a win for them, so hopefully we'll see some objective play around the Fire Giant now, especially with the Gold Tree and the Pyromancer being down. So that's just the logical next step for both of these teams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 26 minutes into the game, Mahakali have, 4K gold lead with their late game comp. I think the main thing they need to look for now is getting Rosie to 20. That the Pendulum of Ages power spike you get from upgrading that item. I mean, it's roughly about 170-ish power you get. I mean, it's just a ridiculous item. That cooldown reduction will be helping having that rain fire online as much as possible during these fights. And I assume she's going to look for maybe a soul gem as that last item. Could be very beneficial for that cooldown. There's Pink Unicorn being caught out if Fear No Evil is dropped and immediately burst. That is a lot of damage. That is a good chunk from Rosier's Pyromancer gonna go down to Mahakali.
Yeah, with that being Pink Unicorn too, that definitely swings things for Mahakali because that was each player's one of their biggest ults in terms of team fights. Knowing the Fear No Evil is not going to be a presence in team fights is definitely give Mahakali the confidence they need to either take objectives or towers, and they can just be in the face of Egypaleyria now because they don't have to risk a massive team fight ult. But here comes the Maui ult.
Big Maui ult from Dorsey, but just don't really have the damage anymore, Egypaleyria, sorry. I mean, Dorsey's taking lots of damage as a liner's going into the air, sorry. How will that Anvil of Dawn impact the fight? Can't tell. I think she connected it onto some as combat's going back in. Oh, that's Blue Slider with Morrigan transformation in the front line. Casvet just taking no damage again. Morrigan's done. Coconut gonna fall to Blue Slider, but Pink Unicorn's back in the fight. Doesn't drop Fear No Evil there. I think he gets the kill. Does get the pick onto Liner though, but still could go big this fight. Still got that Fear No Evil. Doesn't drop it yet. Dropped now into Rosie. Big Aegis though. Deals a lot of damage and makes that chase a lot harder. You never want to be chasing Agni. Dash is down though. Yeah, these fights not really having any clear winners so far. Zarzif going down. This could be really big. Rosie might get. Oh, dash. Oh, Rosie surely needs to die now after dashing in like that. If you are Egypaleyria, not in general, I worded that terribly, but yeah, that's a big kill. Potential maybe to do Fire Giant. I mean, they're looking to start it up.
I mean, it's definitely possible. Mahakali 3 down, Egypaleyria 2 or 1 now. And with how tanky Casvet is and how much damage Sol does, it's definitely possible. But with Coconut there, yeah, no, they're going to drop it. Definitely not worth dying to Coconut. Worth dying to Coconut, I'm sorry. I speak English, carry on.
Yeah, we are both English speakers sometimes, honestly. Yeah, I mean, Egypaleyria, sorry. These team names are a mouthful. I'll tell you that sometimes. Yeah, Egypaleyria all coming back online now. Rosie will be up in about 12 seconds. Pink Unicorn basically up now. Yeah, teams are just gonna have to keep hovering around this Fire Giant, try and get priority over warding. Tim very poked out there from that Milner's attunement. How do you think both teams should be looking to play these Fire Giant fights, Mitch?
Kill a solo laner, but that's not possible currently. So I think when it comes to these Fire Giant fights, they're all warded up. Both teams are playing very carefully here. And it's not, unfortunately, both teams can't really start it and try and bait into a fight because it's just not worth being the risk of being engaged on. So I think whoever takes this fight more proactively is probably the team that's going to be ended up winning it because right now both teams kind of colliding with each other and then both solo laners switch into each other's backlines and then they're just being the ones focused in. So if one of these teams can get the jump on each other and try and poke out one of the others, that's definitely going to be in a better position because right now we see Mahakali edging towards the side of Egypaleyria, so they're trying to take the front foot with Egypaleyria though, not going to take any big risks, but they're ready to answer back if Mahakali do try and start a fight. But hold on, we'll try and get this poke here on Coconut, but
Yeah.
with the mitigation build, it's just not a lot of damage. So I think whichever team plays proactive here is definitely going to be the team benefiting the most.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, Morgan, obviously you're not really going to be going after tanks as Morgan. That's not your MO in fights. Cucullin, it's just his soul, really. Coconut just ain't going to die. I think the issue with Morgan, especially in this meta with the mitigations, is she just doesn't kill tanks. I think maybe could be some value in next meta, next patches. Coconut goes in there. Pyromancer secured by Mahakali as Liner goes into the air. Cat's actually taking a big amount of damage. Bob the Bunny gonna get killed there. Tim going down. Casper actually relatively low. Manages to blink away. Liner dropping the wall as Coconut dashes on. Casper, oh, that is a big Maui 2 from Dorsey. Coconut still able to chase though. Doesn't look like the rest of the team are wanting to follow. Yeah, Kupo and Zarzif heading back to his Fire Giant as that is. Man, as is Rosie, that is probably going to be a Fire Giant for Egypaleyria. Pink Unicorn and Slight chasing Liner here, but little do they know that is a bit of a distraction. Morgan chasing though, Liner low as Fire Giant pulled. Pink Unicorn gonna get the kill onto Liner as Zarzif taking a good amount of damage. Great wall from Kupo. Just gonna go down as Casper. That is, that is some damage. Somehow, that is some damage. But it's not the end of the world actually for Mahakali.
No, like they unfortunately couldn't do the Fire Giant, but each player put so much effort into trying to kill Liner. They still had the bigger numbers when it comes to these team fights, and as you can see, the damage is ridiculous. And one thing I do want to highlight about this Morrigan as well, actually, is that she's going to go for the squishy targets, of course, but to be honest, I would be quite scared going near a Freya and Agni at this stage in the game. So, however, it's one of those situations where if Mori has her ult up and she manages to get a big team fight, almost such as Thor, it's doing well, but so far I just see this Morrigan struggling. And Mahakali in a position right now where even if they lose Liner or one of their picks, they're coming out on top in just broad death numbers because in their team fights they're getting more kills and they're managing to get more map pressure because of it. So Mahakali definitely still in the winning situation. So Primal Fury is up, but I think both teams have set their attentions fully on the Fire Giant right now because honestly, right now it's just anyone's game because so far no one's managed to get a definitive win.
Yeah, absolutely. The team fights. I think, as you said, Mahakali are getting the they're picking up bits to get a bigger lead, but there are no like clear winners. What can allow us Fire Giant to we haven't had a Fire Giant and we're 34 minutes into the game. Like they have been scrambling for it. I think a lot of it is just how much solo laners can just zone and just make it so difficult for fights to play how they typically would. Like you're having to commit so much to kill these solo laners where you used to not really have to towards the end of last season.
Yeah, if we were in a situation where the meta get hold on.
Oh, that's a Dorsey caught out here, goes into the air. As Supernova's dropped to help with the disengage. Kupo gonna have a little scramble there with Casper as Coconut looks to engage, but the rest of Mahakali are going back to that Fire Giant. Coconut just doing God's work to zone, honestly. Casper is stepping up towards the Fire Giant pit though. Does blink in, goes on to Zarzif. this Fire Giant is not burning as fast as they wanted, and Casper is just not taking the damage. But Slider, Pink Unicorn, everyone's taking so much damage. That is a 2v4, which has just favored Coconut and Liner. Like, that is ridiculous. And Fire Giant goes to Mahakali. I mean, Liner and Coconut are running this game.
Yeah, Kazvet tried to exert his presence, trying to stop them from doing the Fire Giant, but whilst he can take damage, unfortunately he didn't have enough to really threaten the backline when it comes to taking the Fire Giant. So no Mahakali, the defensive winners so far in these team fights, managing the Fire Giant, so they can finally look at objectives. And they're carrying a Pyromancer bomb, which I can definitely imagine they're saving for the Phoenix. So, and they need to be careful because so far Egypaleyria are just taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Rosie dashed in though, could be caught out here. Pink Unicorn doesn't have the ultimate. Dashes again. Beads used by Pink Unicorn. Gonna get the kill onto Rosie. Very... just a bit careless, I think, Rosie dashing in there. Gonna make this Phoenix Siege a bit harder. Agni great around Phoenix Sieges. Liner Anvil drawn dropped onto Bob the Bunny. Just gets absolutely blown up between Zarzif and Liner. Dozy trying to do all he can to stop this, but Fear No Evil is dropped. That's big. But Liner managing to get out. Coconut, or Zarzif, sorry, goes down. Coconut taking a lot of damage here. Stun used by Dozy. Casvet just not going to do much damage. Morgan has arrived, but look at... I mean, he's probably healing more than damage he's taking. Like,
Fun build.
it's a fun build, guys. This
build.
is so enjoyable. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
With Mahakali now opening this Phoenix, that puts them in a very strong position now, and the next objective is probably go through, try and get these towers, just try and play it safe now, because now that the Fire Giant is on the map, it's going to give them a lot of leeway now in teamfights, because that was a situation where if they lost, they would have lost Fire Giant. And now that those teamfights don't really have that, so now it's just a matter of playing the map a bit more, trying to get as many structures as possible out of it before the Fire Giant respawns. So Mahakali currently also with a 10k gold lead with the late game comp, so they are very dangerous right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Agni is doing Agni things late game. Rosie topping the player damage charts. Quietly having a good late game. I think early game she definitely struggled. I mean, she was the same level as her support come level 22 or minute 22, sorry. But yeah, I mean, Agni is God. I love that God, but he needs nerfing into the ground. He is just too good right now in terms of mid lane. It's not even close.
Yeah, when you have a god who's kind of known for being balanced and he's currently the best god in the game, there's definitely something going afoot here, so he definitely needs some adjustments, but that damage is ridiculous.
That is some damage as Fear No Evil just doesn't really connect onto the liner as it should.
That's a pretty big loss for Egypaleyria now, because that's going to make defending these structures a lot harder, because losing one of your main team fight ults is definitely not a situation you want to be in. So, however, they do have the Morgan ult, so they can bring back another Fear No Evil if they need to, but combat still at Fear No Evil is definitely something they're going to feel when they're going to have to defend the structure.
Yeah, definitely. It's left tier 2 going to go down as Fire Minions actually pushing in from solo lane. Honestly surprised. I'm not too sure how long they have FG for, but I'm surprised they didn't take advantage of those waves. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Thank you, production. I don't use my eyes sometimes. Yeah, I'm God bless production, honestly. Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised they didn't go for anything with solo lanes or solo waves pushing in. I mean, setting up for this next FG is nice. I mean, it's not going to be the worst for Egypaleyria. I mean, Fire Waves and solo side, that's always the best when you're trying to play around Fire Giant from a behind position. But I mean, they just need some way of killing Coconut. Like, Coconut is just burning so much for Liner just to go in and kill everybody. Like, it's honestly ridiculous. FG actually pretty low. We're gonna need an engage soon from someone. Zarzif, Casper, sorry, and Pink Unicorn going getting the kill onto Rosie. That's actually a big engage as well from Blue Slider. As Zarzif actually really low, but Mystic Rush not connecting. Oh my god! I just didn't even realize as well. Egypaleyria got the fire giant.
You didn't realize?
I only
They
just
stole it.
realized they stole it.
They stole it.
Chat, I am slow today. that turns the game.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing for Egypaleyria. Managing to get that fire giant, this game is they are still in it. They still want to get into the second game because Egypaleyria are definitely not going out without a fight.
Yeah, for sure. They do lose their solo side Phoenix again, though, Egypaleyria, but they are in a great position with Rosie down for 20 more seconds. Pink Unicorn, you can't get caught out there. I mean, good work from Mahakali there to pick him out, but when you have just had that big of a turn in a game where you are starting to struggle more as the game goes on, yeah, you just can't be affording to die in that position. That is very unfortunate for Egypaleyria.
Yeah, it looks like Mahakali are taking the aggressions here.
Damage from the forehammer onto is that Bob the Bunny? Yeah, Tim. Casvet not dying. Mario drop from Does here. Blue Slider not gonna get anything with the ult there. The Anvil of Dawn as yeah, Rosie actually. Is that Rosie coming back in here? Yeah, Rosie joining in the fight. This could be good here for Mahakali. Is that Bob the Bunny again? Yeah, taking a lot of damage. Is the soul not dead yet though? Casvet just zoning. That's a great wall again from Kupo. Casvet actually relatively low in the background. Yeah, like, oh, that is rough if you are Egypaleyria.
Yeah, managing to steal the fire giant but then lose two of your players, especially with your right Phoenix still down. Mahakali can possibly take another Phoenix here, so that is honestly pretty sad for Egypaleyria, especially how well they played that fire giant. But they're not out of the fight yet. They still have the Humbat Salt, so here it comes.
Big Finno Evil. Beads dropped from Liner. Rosie
Ooh.
very low as his Liner, but Pink Unicorn go down. That is very, very unfortunate. Blue Slider and Dozy without ults for a little while. But something still could be possible. Dozy doing his absolute best to try and delay it. But 4 is in the air. Blue Slider gonna pick up Rosie. That is big. Needs to get out here though if possible. Liner also going into the air with this Anvil of Dawn. Will she be able to pick out Blue Slider? Goes down. Blue Slider very, very low. Is going to go down. It's Dorsey versus the world. But Tim and Casper are both coming up soon. If he's able to delay this, that's a big Mario Coconut. Is he going to go down? No.
How is he still alive?
How is he still alive?
Oh, such a fun build.
It's so fun, guys. Mitigations are very fun to deal with. Just incredible, really. This game's been going 44 minutes. Wow, wowie! I love mitigations.
I mean, well done to Mahakali. They had the fire giant stolen from them, but they managed to pick off Egypaleyria, and the fact that they managed to get another Phoenix from that is just a massive win for them. Egypaleyria is still showing signs of life though, with their big ultimates and their picks. So hopefully, when the next FG comes, Egypaleyria can hopefully pull another miracle, get the fire giant themselves, and hopefully turn around this map pressure. But Mahakali currently still have 4 towers and all 3 of their Phoenixes up, so they're in a very strong position currently.
Yeah, definitely. Fire Giant back up. It's going to be a lot harder now for Egypaleyria with that dual lane Phoenix down for quite a while as well. Solo side one is coming back up any moment now. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be so difficult. Liner looking to get a pick here. Is looking towards... Oh, she is standing on a ward, so they do know she's there, but... Yeah, I mean... It's just so difficult now for Egypaleyria. Very sad, because they had such a strong start to the game, and had that big comeback with the Fire Giant steal, but... It's very sad as Mahakali takes the Fire Giant. Egypaleyria on borrow time now, as I think Mahakali are gonna look for this solo side Phoenix once again.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play their defense right here. They have all of their ultimates, so they're definitely good position here. It's just they need to defend it because if Egypaleyria slip up this fight, it could be game for Mahakali, so they need to be very careful here. Right, Phoenix goes down as expected. It was already quite low. Titan's exposed. 2 Phoenixes down. Mahakali doing the safe option. They're going to go for the middle Phoenix, but then there's the Titan. I don't know how much damage you can really take, but hopefully Egypaleyria can show some life, which they've been doing all game. Try and play their defense well, and hopefully bring back the game for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Casvet just going an annoying liner. Kupo's actually taken a lot of damage here as Rosie's been engaged on. Gonna dash in, actually. Missed is the Anvil of Dawn, I believe, by liner. Phoenix does go down here, though, but Coconut and Kupo taking a fair bit of damage. Maui ult is dropped. Casvet doesn't beat it in time. Does go into the sky. Mystic Rush lands. So does the 4 ultimate. Needs to die, Zaz, if you're Egypaleyria. Not going to go down, though. Just sustaining through it. As Coconut going to come around the back. Yeah, Rosie picks up the kill onto Casvet there. That is not ideal at all. Fino Evil drop, though, actually, onto Zaz. That's a big kill for Pink Unicorn. Does up down though, which gonna go down. Rosie, I think, picked up a kill in the back as well, or might have been Rosie.
Yeah, it was Rosie.
It was Rosie. I think this is probably game. Very unfortunate for Egypaleyria, honestly. I mean, 3 still up. I think Titans just gonna go down. That is so unfortunate. That is upsetting.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the final game of the set due to the lateness of Egypaleyria. Unfortunately, they had to forfeit game 1, so that is a 2-0 from Mahakali, which they definitely deserved. They played really well this game, and thing is, though, it's all not bad. Hopefully, with silver lining is we saw a very strong Egypaleyria here as well, so hopefully in the next set they can bring it as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are promising signs. From Egypaleyria. I was impressed with how they played the early. I was super impressed with how Tim and Dorsey were doing through the early. Pink Unicorn as well. Humbat's having a pretty decent performance, but yeah, I don't know. This Kukulin was an issue.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Was a bit OP.
Yeah, just the mitigation build gave Coconut so much leeway in what he could do, and then having Liner as well, their ultimate just coming in, getting these massive teamfight ultimates, as well as just the raw damage coming out from Rosie and Zareth. It was just one of those things that Egypaleyria over time just struggled to deal with. Because in the beginning of the fights, like around mid game-ish, Egypaleyria were fighting back, they were getting picks themselves, but over time, as Mahakali were obtaining more gold, more items, and getting more ahead, the damage and just the amount how tanky they were just became too much for them to handle, unfortunately, and eventually it became too much. They've lost Fire Giant, and then Mahakali took the game.
Yeah, definitely. As we're looking on the scoreboard here, I just want you to look at this Kukulin, Mitch.
My god.
Tell me about that.
180 damage mitigated.
And 50k player damage.
Yeah.
Second highest in the game, I believe. Solo very fun role right now. They are very weak, obviously. So weak. Just a terrible role.
Thankfully, come Tuesday, the mitigation build should be nerfed, and our backline should be able to do more damage. It should balance out the game a little bit, but unfortunately, we're not on that patch, so mitigation build reigns supreme, and tanks are tanks. So, well played by Mahakali. They managed. I mean, each player are also using the build, and Kazvet was definitely playing well with it, but unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And I think Egypaleyria showed a lot of signs of life and improvement, so it'll be very interesting to see their sets moving forward.
Yeah, I think they have the pieces for sure to start rising up the leaderboard of middle division. But yeah, I mean the way Mahakali were, what's it called, playing the late game team fights, words are coming out. I mean, it was just so impressive in a meta where late game team fighting is sort of, like just where teams are prioritizing. I think it's just something very valuable to have. I think some people want to do an interview. Mahakali people, we might have an interview come in with Coconut and maybe some others. Maybe if we can drag them in.
Yeah, hold on. Coconut?
Yeah, Coconut wants to do an interview.
Sure thing, we'll interview Coconut.
And Liner.
And Liner?
Yes.
Sure. Move to. Hello.
Oh.
Hello, Coconut.
Hello, Coconut. Mitigations are fun, aren't they, buddy? That's my
They
first.
are very fun.
Very fun.
Did you have a fun time just, having second highest damage in the game and all them mitigations?
Yeah, I just 180k mitigations. I think it's balanced. I don't think they should nerf it, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest, I think
Yeah.
souls have been quite weak, so it's something that you definitely need.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, to be fair, they're the worst role in the game. Like, come on, guys.
I agree.
Get real. Hello, Liner. Liner's here as well, guys. She joined the VC.
This year.
The goat.
Yeah. So we saw you two specifically. I mean, I was most impressed by how you two were just your zoning, your coordination throughout the late game team fights. I mean, how do you think your team in general has gelled and like? I know you had a rough start to the season, so how do you think you've improved and in what areas?
I think our communication is like way better. At the start, none of us spoke, but I think now I can actually dive with Lina in the zone. I think we have a very good communication. I think the whole team feels good about how we're doing.
Yeah, that is great. What were your sort of reactions? There was a point in the game around one of the fire giant dances where it were just you two zoning 4 people and you managed to get a kill. What was sort of comms like around that period? Because it was quite hype on the cast. I was very impressed.
I think I screamed, "Do fire! I'm zoning," and that's about it.
Very nice.
Very solo lane. Very
Yeah.
very. The amount of testosterone I could feel when you said that. Powerful.
Yeah, that's
Honestly powerful. Disappointing that we didn't get to have the game won. Do you
yeah.
think that it'd affect the set in any way?
I think it was gonna be a 2-0. We're just that goated, but
I like the
Uh,
confidence.
Very nice. I like the confidence.
yeah. But I'm sad that we didn't get to the game one. I can't
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
No, I mean, hey, at least you get to have a nice Sunday evening and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, our support had to go though, so that's why we took game one. We weren't gonna take it if our support didn't have to go.
Okay.
Wow. That if that doesn't scream anything, it shows that most wholesome MD team. That is powerful. That is a good title to have. Anyway, thank you, Coconut. Thank you, Liner, for the very entertaining set.
Yep. Thank you for the cast.
It's all right, all good.
Looking forward to see you guys play in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's gonna be it then. Quick public service announcement, guys. Just drop a prime, and maybe some gifters. We love money.
Yes, please.
We just love money so much.
Give us
It's free money, okay? If you sub with Prime, you're basically getting £5 back, okay? And then you can go and buy some Smite gems with it and get your favorite Anubis skin. Think about that.
Yeah. Give us money.
Yeah.
We need to pay our bills, please.
Yeah, like Printers is in chat and he just wants your money.
Money.
He wants
money.
so much money.
Hello.
Anyway,
we like money.
Thank you again, Galerius, all my favorite Galerius Smite League fans. What do you mean, Rosie? She asked for it.
She did ask.
She asked to be interviewed. Unbelievable. Not my fault. Can I interview but in Morse code? No, I'm sorry. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. Goodbye. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all whenever. I'm sure me and Mitch will be back at some point. Goodbye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
There we go.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Thank you.